Hi, Doka.
Good morning, Olive. It's good to see you, and you brighten up my day whenever you're on set. I don't know what's wrong with Osarogui. I usually drag myself out of bed when I know I have to see Osarogui.
I knew because I had to come because of you. Yesterday I heard you asked, you about me, and I had to come back to brighten your day. It's good to see you.
And I really do feel awakened. I'm brighter this morning. Good to see you, Osarogui.
The only reason I won't respond is because my team won, over the weekend. So
just one victory after three games.
Yeah, it's been a tough, few weeks, but we got one victory, so. It's fine.
I'm representing the team.
Not excited to see you either, Luca.
It's all right. Well, big things happening in the world of sports. And for the African champions, Banyana, a lot of goodies are coming their way. Now, after receiving their promised bonuses from the South African Football Association for winning the Women's Africa Cup of Nations, Banyana is set to get another big payday. Now, there are 5.8 million rand in additional bonuses promised by the government after the team's return from Morocco has now been increased to 15 million. Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Nathi Mthethwa, announced the increase on Tuesday. Mthethwa also affirmed his commitments to honor the decision by the National Department of Sports, Arts and Culture to contribute 5.8 million rand as an acknowledgement of their outstanding achievement. And he congratulated the Banyana ladies for their achievements, stating no amount of money would be enough to reward them for their exploits in Morocco. That's a big one for the Banyana. Moving over to Egypt now, the future of Ahli coach Ricardo Suarez will be under the spotlight when the club who lost the Egyptian Premier League title for a second straight season meet NP on Wednesday amid reported internal divisions. Now, members of the newly established company that oversees football affairs at Ahli suddenly stepped down on Tuesday with reports indicating that they fell out with the club's board and chairman Mahmoud El Khatib over the fate of Suarez. Now, the Portuguese coach arrived less than 2 months before, but then he failed to spark a revival at the ailing club, who won only 7 matches out of 14 under his guidance, drawing 5 and losing twice. He could be excused for having to field a second-string team, including some youngsters, to comply with a decision from the club's board after the team had lost hope of competing for the title. Now, many of Ahli's demanding supporters feel the team had not made enough progress under Suarez, who succeeded the highly successful Pitso Mosimane. And to transfer news now, Leicester City have rejected a third bid from Chelsea for Wesley Fofana, believed to be between 60 million to 70 million pounds. It is understood the offer for the 21-year-old centre-back includes add-on clauses, some of which are considered by Leicester City to be very unrealistic. Now, the Foxes, who are yet to win a match this season, have maintained their stance that the Frenchman is not for sale. And it could take a while, and of course, a world record fee for a defender, more than 80 million pounds for City to consider Chelsea's advances. Now, the Blues have already spent about 170 million pounds this summer and recently had a 40 million bid for Everton forward Anthony Gordon turned down. Now, Thomas Tuchel's side are also in talks with Barcelona about signing former Arsenal striker Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Now, Fofana was left out of the Leicester City squad on Saturday when they lost 2-1 to Southampton after manager Brendan Rodgers said he was not in the right frame of mind to play. It is unclear whether Fofana will return to the squad this weekend, given that Leicester City will get to face Chelsea at Stamford Bridge on Saturday. In the world of tennis, a fan who Nick Kyrgios said was drunk out of her mind during the Wimbledon final is taking legal action against the Australian tennis player. Kyrgios, who lost the final to Novak Djokovic in July, said the woman looked like she has had about 700 drinks as she complained to the umpire about her. Now, Anna Paulus has now instructed solicitors to bring defamation proceedings against Kyrgios. She accuses Kyrgios of a reckless and entirely baseless allegation. Kyrgios, the world number 26, reached his first Grand Slam final at Wimbledon and is preparing to play at the US Open, which starts in New York next week. Now, big things happening in the world of sport. Nick Kyrgios, always very controversial on the tennis court, on and off the tennis court. And for the Banyana, interesting times for the ladies after they got to win the AWCON tournament, that is the Women Africa Cup of Nations. So a big congratulations to the Banyana, and like the team for the tournament actually went on to say that we're supporting the growth of women football. And Olive, I'm sure she is excited for this one as well.
Well, it's exciting. I mean, always exciting because the Banyana have been pulling their weight.
Yeah.
You know, they've been in the news for good reason. But again, as this is coming, conversations about equal pay still keep coming up. You know, there are recently, I think it was in the month of month of August, the president, Sir Ramaphosa, met with them at, I think, Union Building and said to them he had pledged for equal pay. And, you know, the conversation is, we want to see equal pay. Beyond them getting this extra money, is how sustainable is it going to be? Is it just a one-off? Are they going to get equal pay? They're putting in the work. They're making women proud. They're putting South Africa on the map globally. You know, they're making their country proud. They deserve that. So this is great news, but yet again, conversations about equal pay would always come up.
Yeah, well, true. I agree with you, but we also need to agree that they're getting the recognition that they deserve after getting to win that AWCON tournament. With the likes of Nigeria, Cameroon, and Morocco playing in that same tournament, and they emerged victorious. So I think it's a good way to reward them. Then the equal pay talk, well, it's still ongoing, and we'll get to see if it happens for the ladies to get equal pay as much as the guys get to have. Because somewhere in Nigeria, we know that the Super Falcons have won more Africa Cup of Nations titles than the Super Eagles, and yes, they keep talking about equal pay, but there are some limitations regarding this. And currently, I mean, the NFF keeps saying that they have cash restraints from giving out money. But for the Banyana, big one for the ladies right there, and I'll keep on saying big congratulations to them for winning that AWCON title.
Udoka, I just want to get your thoughts on what determines the pay for athletes.
Yeah. You know, when it comes to other sports now, say tennis, for example, some of the male tennis players keep saying, why are you asking for equal pay? We don't get to play the same number of sets that you ladies play. But of course, the ladies are also clamoring for the fact that they are also into all of these competitions. Why do they get to pay the men more than the ladies? The same thing applies to football, basketball, and every other sport. They just clamor for equal pay. I don't have anything against the women getting equal pay as much as the guys get, because if they are doing the job, if they are doing what the men are doing, and even doing better, I think they deserve to get
They are doing
equal
better.
pay.
No, but you know what I'm asking is because there's always the argument that the sport that makes more money obviously has more money to pay players, and if the female sports aren't pulling those crowds or pulling those levels of sponsorship, then there is not that money to pay them on the same level.
You can't blame the women for not pulling sponsorship. You blame it on the organizers of the tournament. Publicity matters a whole lot. You saw the AFCON tournament for women happen in Morocco, and we didn't see the crowd turn up except when Morocco gets to play against other teams. Then the crowd will turn up and watch the women play football. But if it is the AFCON tournament, of course, we see supporters club from left, right, and center turning up in the organizing country to support their team. So I think it has to do with the organizers. They need to plan better and ensure people turn up for these female tournaments, not just about the fans now. They need to encourage fans, supporters from every part of the world to come around and watch football. I mean, female football is beginning to grow, and it's really, really exciting to watch, if you ask me.
All right. Just to put Olive on the spot. Olive,
unfortunately,
I know she's going to fight me after this.
Before you put me on the spot, I was going to make reference to the fact that unfortunately, yes, we're talking about the gender pay gap in sports, but it's not the only industry that suffers that. In many industries around the world, there is a huge gender pay gap. And unfortunately, before COVID, statistics said it would take 100 years to breach that gender pay gap. But then COVID happened, and it's taken us like farther behind, and now it's about 130 something years before we would ever get there. So we're talking about how realistic is this really? Whether or not it's realistic, we're going to keep speaking about it until we see it change.
Of course.
So can I
we'll keep talking about it. But before I go, let me quickly touch on the Champions League results of matches that we saw yesterday. I mean, some teams have actually qualified for the group stage of the UEFA Champions League. We'll get to see the results pop up on the screen. Benfica have made it to the group stage of the tournament, and they will be featuring in the draws that will take place on Thursday. There's also the likes of Victoria Plzen are making it to the group stage of the tournament, and the Red Star Belgrade playing out the 2-2 draw with Maccabi Haifa, and Maccabi have also qualified for the group stage of the tournament. So Benfica, Maccabi, and Victoria Plzen will be getting to play in this season's UEFA Champions League, and they are celebrating this one, and we'll see if they'll get a favorable draw when the draws happen on Thursday. And In Egypt, of course, Zamalek have been crowned champions of the Egyptian Premier League, and they played out a 1-0 draw in their game yesterday. But of course, that crown was given to them after they finished that game 1-1. So congratulations to Zamalek once again for winning the title back-to-back, playing out a 1-0 draw with Al Ittihad. And El Guna played out a 2-2 draw with Smoha. Al Mokolun defeated Farko FC by 2-0, and National Bank and Al Masri played out a 2-2 draw. And that's all from me for Sport Update.
All right. Thanks very much, Udoka. Not looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, but I know you'll be here.
Thank you very much.
You're not putting me on the spot again.
No, I'm not.